We are nothing but a political pawn on their chessboard. So when I say prepare, I mean prepare. Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Thought I'd read you guys this article because I find it pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure that if this is going on in Wisconsin, that is probably going on in many other states, if not most states. So the title of this article is Wisconsin Food Bank Warns, We're Not Going Back to Normal Anytime Soon. For more color on the so-called struggle as the health crisis recession continues to plunge the working poor into financial misery as the fiscal cliff enters the 39th day, a new report sourced locally in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, outlines how a top food bank in the Milwaukee metropolitan area expects a spike in emergency food needs. So, ladies and gentlemen, I found this interesting, that they expect a spike in emergency food needs, where we've been experiencing a spike for the last several months. This tells me that not only are things bad as they are already, but that they're going to get even worse. And one thing that I want you guys to take out of this, if these food banks have been stocking up all the way since March, remember that article I read you about the Washington Food Bank? They were stocking up all the way since March of this year. At the same time that they were calling people hoarders for going to the store and panic buying because they were scared, they themselves were contributing to the shortages by stocking up their warehouses to the ceiling, literally to the ceiling. So now that they're already stocked up and they're delivering these foods on a weekly basis, now they expect an even higher surge than what they've been having all along. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons why I'm reading this article is because you have to look to the future so that you can plan ahead. Get your preps now. Panic buying will ensue again. That is my opinion, but I feel that panic buying will ensue again. Continuing on. We're not going back to normal anytime soon, said Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin President and CEO Patty Habeck, who spoke with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Habeck said there is no illusion that the stress on the emergency food system will ease up given the ongoing health crisis and spikes among college students and children. However, she said, the food bank supply chain has slightly improved thanks to government intervention. So far, through the end of the calendar year, we feel good about accessing the food we need, she said. The supply chain is not as disrupted as it was at the beginning of this health crisis. Habeck said that the Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act allowed her organization to purchase more food to handle the increasing demand induced by this recession, which resulted in widespread job loss across the metro area. She added that the USDA's Farmers to Families Food Box program has been helpful with keeping the food bank well supplied. Habeck's warning about a spike in food bank demand comes as a search for food bank in the state had risen this week above the mid-April level when food banks nationwide were overwhelmed with record demand from broke and hungry Americans who lost their jobs due to this lockdown. This is just another warning sign, ladies and gentlemen. If food banks are getting ready now, and if food banks are foreseeing a spike in demand, do you think that maybe it would be a good idea for you and your family to consider doing the same? Preparing for this winter. Getting enough sustenance that will get you through the winter, ladies and gentlemen, at least at the very minimum. Do your best to make sure that those life-sustaining needs that you have are met to get you through this winter. Prepare now to make sure that you and your family are going to be able to weather this storm that's coming. We haven't had a storm yet, ladies and gentlemen. It's still coming. All right? Hopefully, we've been learning throughout these months as to what preps we need more than others, and we've been filling in our gaps. I also wanted to show you this real quick. I'm not going to open this article up, but listen to this title. Morgan Stanley no longer sees a fiscal stimulus deal before the election, What does that mean for the markets? And you see this, ladies and gentlemen? Look at these two. What are these guys? Congress? This lady here is the head of the Congress, I think, and he's the head of the Senate. I think that's how it works. I think that's who these guys are. Ladies and gentlemen, these people aren't thinking about you. We are nothing but a political pawn on their chessboard. So when I say prepare, I mean prepare. Because I guarantee you one thing. No matter how tough it gets for the American people, these two will not go hungry. Neither will their associates that they work with. They will not go hungry, ladies and gentlemen. They will not be thrown out on the streets. So make sure that you prepare. Thank you very much for joining in.